Hey, how's it going? This is Ben Hearn with another Market Watch update for Bryn Mawr for the month of July. And if you've been paying attention to real estate, then I'm sure you're aware, right around early June, we saw the market shift. The mortgage rates went up like pretty high unexpectedly. And now the market's like normalized kind of. Before the prices were just going up exponentially, but now they've flattened off. So we're seeing homes sit on the market a little longer. We're seeing price reductions again. But in our area, the main line, we're pretty insulated from that. So the national headline news is a lot worse than what's going on in our area. It's still a seller's market. There just isn't the inventory for the amount of demand. And in the summer, like real estate slows down anyway. People go on vacation and just moving is not a top priority. So some of these homes, they were active right when that shift was happening. And some of them have closed, and we'll see that. But a bunch of these homes, they were active in May, back when the market was still like really, really crazy. So we're still seeing like 15 to 20 to 25% over asking. However, next month, I don't think we're going to see quite as many. And yeah, now like a home might sit 8 days. You might be able to get it slightly under asking or slightly above asking. So it's still like homes still sell. You can't lowball them, but you just have to be really careful with how you price it now. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll get right to the collection. And we're starting off in the Radnor Township part of Bryn Mawr. So as you can see, there's not too many active homes right now. Again, this was for the month of July. There's a bunch of pending and under contracts. And the closed homes, so this one on Clyde went 17% above asking for 970. And again, that was just part and parcel for the course. That went under contract in April. So those homes, that's kind of what happened. They'd be on the market for 5 days. They would close 10 to 20% above asking. And, we're not quite, that still happens now, just home in good condition, good price, good location. It'll still get multiple bids. But, I don't think we're seeing like 5+ offers now. Now we're seeing like 2 to 5. This one on Cornerstone sold for 19% above asking for 1.18. And again, that was in May. So those homes still had that like strong market. This one on Bailey closed at the end of the month, and that sold for 3.4% above asking. And that was in mid-June, so right as the market kind of shifted. So I think we're going to start seeing more like that. Something will be like 1% above asking to 5% above asking. We'll see that. And this one on Browning, I mean, that was 26% above asking. So it'll be interesting to see how many more get like over 25% above asking. I mean, this has had like a huge lot, and they set a really good price on it. So I think as long as the agents, we set a good price, get a competitive bid. Like there was a home in Wynwood this past weekend that honestly it needed work, but it was in a great location and it still had a multiple bid situation going on. So that still happens. This one on Fitzwilliam sold 8% above asking for 380. Again, that was in May. So next month's one in September. It'll definitely be interesting to see how many are over like 5% or 10% above asking. This one on County Line Road, it looks great. That was 1% above asking, so it sold for a little over 1.5. And again, this collection you have access to. It's in the email. So if you just click the button, you can go through all the homes. And I mean, some of these homes are absolutely gorgeous. So I would encourage you to look through them. Then you can see like the property history. And this one on Summit closed for 445. That was 17% above asking. And there's a decent amount actually that closed, again, because the tail end of the spring when it was the busiest. So this one sat for 12 days. It was 1% below asking. And yeah, that was right as the market was shifting. So at that time, sellers, maybe not every seller like had adjusted to like, hey, you have to be careful with the pricing. So this will be more kind of what we'll see, 12 days, slightly below asking. And this one on Drakestrom was 2.7% above asking, and that was right in mid-June too. So they nailed that pricing. This one on Old Oaks closed for 525. That was 5% above asking. And that was, again, still like right in the market shift, but they nailed that price right at 500K. And they got it sold within 5 days. So good for them. And then This one on Lawyer was a little under 1.6, and that was 7.8% above asking. Those homes on that street, they look really nice. And then that was it for Radnor. Now if we're going to the Haverford and LM school district parts of Bryn Mawr, there's not that many active. I mean, right now, actually, yeah, there's a decent amount. This one's under contract, so that went under contract in August. The other ones had some sort of real estate activity. Either they had a price drop, or they were introduced to the market, or they went back to the market sometime in July. And scrolling down, those ones are all active. Then we're getting to the pendings. There's only a couple pending, and there was about like 8 closed. This one on Old Goff closed at the end of the month, and that was 4% above asking for 1.2. This one on Ithan, that closed for 1.65, right on the money, and that was for 19 days. So that one, I mean, again, I encourage you to go through, because these homes, they're pretty classic and they look great. This one on Daring closed for 2.1, and it was 15% above asking. It was listed at 1.825, and that was, closed in 4 days. So at that price point, closing in 4 days, that's really good for them. Warner, this one ended up closing for 2, and that was 13% below asking. That happens sometimes. This condo on Norwood was 750. This one on Summit Grove was 485. If you're hearing that clicky clack, that's my dog. That was 2% above asking, right on Summit Grove. And this one on Harrington, again, like, what a great location. This was 3% below, 7 days. That's just like a classic mainline colonial. And then this one on Lee Circle for 725, that was 8% above asking, closed in 2 days. And that was in May. So yeah, they did a great job with that. They got a grand slam offer and they just took it off the market. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Again, in the email, there are 2 buttons, one for Haverford and Lower Merion Township, and then the other for Radnor. And with the way the market shifted, we're saying it's like normalized, and you might be wondering what the value of your home is. So I think it's a great time to find out what your home's worth, like in this current market. So if you want a no obligation valuation of your home, we'd love to come out. Just give us a call. My contact info is below. You can give us a tour, tell us, when you updated the kitchen, baths, etc., square footage, acreage, and then we'll take that information from the tour. Then we'll check out the most recent, like, sold, pending, and active homes that are comparable to that. And then we'll give you a comparative market analysis, which takes all those factors. And then with respect to the state of the market that it's currently in, we would say your home, we think, is worth X amount. And again, no pressure at all. If you're just curious, want a professional opinion, we'd love to go out there. So contact my info below. And that's all I got. I hope you have a great rest of the summer, and I'll see you in September. All right, bye.